G'day everybody, welcome to Zombie Bites Everything. Got some GTA today. Going to be having a look around, see what there is. Said something about stunt series, so we'll have a look at those races and do a spin. Believe I got a spin ready. Should be a new car on the podium. We'll see if we can get it. Probably won't, but hey, it's free to try, so we might as well. Hope everyone's doing alright. Topika in the chat. Back is still killing me. Hey, Tactical Play, I went to your channel before and I went to watch the video. It said it was live. I was like, oh yeah, sweet, tax on. And I pushed on it and it said, this stream has been removed by the streamer. I was like, oh, crap sticks. It looked like you were drawing or something. That's what the thumbnail looked like. Oh, I wanted to see it. Wow, that is awesome. That is a sexy fucking emu, man. That's a sexy fucking emu. That's a sexy emu, man. I love it. I love it. That is good. Just like a big male. G'day Seven, how you going, man? Just checking out the image that Tack sent me of the emu he drew. Now, you used a computer to do all that, yeah? That was all like in a... I can't remember the name of the program. Forgive me for that. If you want to put the name of the program in the chat there, Tack, by all means. But Tack's been using this... he uses his computer and that. I think he's using a tablet, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what setup he's got, but he's been drawing... doing drawing streams and that, and this one here, the emu, it's called am I saying this right? Kratar? I'm probably not saying that right, am I? I did it on my tablet. Okay, cool. Wacom drawing tablet. Okay, cool. Now, obviously, it looks like you can get better images than I can on my iPad. I've tried on my iPad. I've got some drawing apps and that, but I just cannot get them to work. I think it's because, well, I got the pen and everything to use on my iPad, but I need to get that, you know, the glove that lets you, that covers the palm of your hand and your pinky and your ring finger, and it goes over your thumb, but it lets your fingers free. But it means that then you don't actually activate anything else on the touch screen. That's what I need, because I keep activating everything else. No, I love it, man. That is awesome. That is awesome. And it was just a throwaway suggestion too. I didn't even put any serious thought that you'd actually do it or anything. I figured, he might draw an emu one day. He's doing his deer and all the other things at the moment. I really shouldn't be just chucking animals at him. He's probably got a list of animals he wants to draw up. So I was not expecting that. So that's I really enjoyed opening up my iPad, opening up Discord and seeing that. That was good. I woke up to a sexy wife with a boob hanging out of her shirt and an emu. Today is fucking rolling on zombie today. Love it. That's probably too much information for everybody out there, but anyway. Who would have thought yous all? Who would have thought that I like emus? That I like emus. No, I appreciate that, Tactical. I really do. I really do appreciate it. I really do enjoy that picture. That is really, really good. I'm even looking at the eye. You've even got that little glare in its eye as well. Like, I'm zooming... Dude, I'm critiquing this all over. I'm zooming right in. Your nostrils pretty good line up. Tufts of fur around... tufts of fluff around the neck, and that's really good. Legs really good. The feet... I mean, I can see... Oh, yep. I see it. I was wondering, what's wrong with the feet? No, it's... I zoomed in. It's grass near the feet. Yep, no. They look good. They look all good. Proportions look good. How much the back end hangs out looks good. It all looks really good. Proportions are really good. It's all... Yeah, man. Nothing wrong with that emu. That's a fucking awesome emu. Last emu I seen as good as that was on a plate. So I didn't get the car. Got a t-shirt. That's alright. I am going to save that. No. I'm going to save that image. I like it. Now it said that there was some... It said stunt series. Fuck it. We'll just go whichever one for now. Hopefully the message pops back up again and we see the message again. So how's everyone been? How you been, Seven? Seven's got the new one. New little bubba. Be having his first Christmas this year. Seven's a proud dad. I'm sure he's enjoying that idea. Sure he's looking forward to that. sitting back with his bubba in a chair, having a beer, while little fella mungs on a present. I'm assuming he'll just chew on it because he don't know how to open it yet. But not a huge Christmas person, but yeah, the first Christmas is always a good one. Oh, fine, let's just take the ghosty. It's a muscle cars. I didn't think this was a muscle car. Alright. Expose yourself to the truth. Yeah, no. I have eyes and ears and I don't trust them. Expose yourself to the truth. I have eyes and ears that I don't trust because, you know, they're not precision instruments. They're just my eyes and my ears. There's biases there. So, because they're mine. So I don't trust my eyes and ears. But I do trust my eyes and ears more than I trust anybody else's eyes and ears. I wonder exactly what sort of truth this car's trying to expose me to. It's a Ghostbusters one, that's what it was for. It's for Halloween. We got this for finding the 10 ghost. But you see, I'm not a person who actually believes in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in spirits. I don't believe in an afterlife, positive or negative. I know people that do believe in ghosts, though. The same people that believe in ghosts also do palm readings and tarot cards and believe in mediums and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't hurt anybody, I suppose. Until it does, I guess. But I haven't seen it do any real damage. Like, I don't think I've seen any families be completely destroyed because someone believed in ghosts or anything like that. It's definitely different. I remember saying years and years and years ago to someone, they were like, "Oh, let me read your fortune." I was like, "Nah, thanks." And they're like, "Oh, are you one of those skeptics?" As if it's like as if people that don't believe, it's weird that people don't believe that someone believes they've got a superpower. I can see the future, and it's weird how people, you know, these people believe that, you know, it was like, this is a weird thing to say. I just felt like it was a weird thing to say. It's like, "Oh, you one of those skeptics?" It's like, okay, yeah, fine, I am. Oh, well, let me change your mind. Oh, all right then, this will be fun. And you're like, "Oh, you're gonna have this, you're gonna have that, and this is gonna happen," and all that sort of stuff. It's just like, so now you know your future. I was like, right. I'm like, nah, I don't believe in that shit. So, but I just told you your future. I was like, no, you didn't. You just told me a story. Most of those things, I just heard my mum telling you about. So you're not telling me anything I didn't already know myself. And the other claim is too that they make is like, when you go back to them, like if you were to go back to, I haven't bothered, but if I was to go back to her and say everything you said was going to happen, didn't happen, and then she would just use the excuse of, because I might not have gone back to her, but I have heard the excuse used. See, my mum was one of those people that believed in that sort of stuff. Believed in that, believed in witchcraft was real and all that sort of stuff. It's like, oh my God. And now, look, I'm one of those types of people. You show me evidence how it works and that it works, and you can reproduce it over and over and over again, I will change my mind. See what I was saying? Once I recover from the shock, I'll write fancy that on the side of my cock. G'day, Zio. How you going, mate? It's Zio, Topeka, not Zero. Gee, she just demoted your worth, man. I swear, if she wasn't my wife, I'd leave her. I'd leave her for that. Doing good? Oh, that's good, mate. Well, anyway, this lady was telling me, well, if you don't believe in spiritual stuff, why do you have a dream catcher then? And she thought she had me on some gotcha thing, you know. Oh, I've got him. He believes in this supernatural thing, but doesn't believe in this other thing. And I was just like, well, it was a gift. Someone gave it to me. Well, then why do you keep it? Because it was a gift. The fact that someone gave it to me, someone else gave it to me because they thought I'd like it because of my heritage. I have Cherokee Indian, a little bit, not a lot, but I have a little bit of Cherokee blood in me. So I was given that because they thought that's what was appropriate. They also gave me a cowboy set as well, right? So, you know, take what you want from that fucking gift. I got a fucking dream catcher and a cowboy hat and fucking gun set, toy gun set. When I was like 9 or 10 when this happened, right? But there was this. But it got to a point where there's an adult trying to argue with a child about what's real and what's not in the universe, and what a child believes is real. But you believe in Santa, don't you? No. Oh, what about the Easter Bunny? No. Do you believe in this? No. Do you believe in that? No. Do you believe man went to the moon? Yes. Do you believe the world is round? Yes. Why? Because we can do experimental tests to prove that it's round, and we can repeat those tests over and over again, and they don't change. And the day it changes will be the day I change my mind. But until then, the evidence says, you know, well, I would rather people tell me that they hope, that they wish. I wish there was a heaven. I hope there is a heaven. As opposed to people saying, I know for a fact there is a heaven. These are the same people that at the end of the day, or a spiritual life or a spiritual afterworld, whatever the case might be. It's like when you say to them, but I need evidence. That's all I want, is just a little bit of evidence. And it, you know, I haven't been given enough evidence to allay my doubts yet of what's out there. All I know is I'm an insignificant piece of carbon. That's it. Got one life. It's not a very long life. That's it. That's all I know. I'm a huge science nerd as well. Not that I'm good at science, that I understand how science works, and I don't understand every aspect of science, but that's okay because not every scientist understands every aspect of science, so I'm in no different group of people there. Plummet. G'day, Jen. How are you and Saucy? Well, it got me thinking today because I was watching something and someone was saying that the thing I was watching was talking about luck. This is why I'm on this subject. The thing I was watching was talking about luck. Okay? About, we doing okay? Okay, awesome. It was talking about how you can make your own luck and all that sort of stuff, and that, you know, the spirits are out there guiding you and all that sort of stuff. And I was watching it. I like to try and keep an open mind. Even though, yes, honestly, from the very beginning, I looked at that lecture and was like, this is going to be one of those bullshit lectures. But I still listened to it and I watched it. I don't mind. I honestly don't mind seeing other people's views, even if I think they're batshit crazy, even if I think that they're wrong or there's no evidence to support it. I don't mind looking at the views and trying to understand where they're coming from. What I have seen is a lot of the people have had some sort of trauma in their life, and trauma manifests itself in many different ways, negative and positive. Most of us that ever experience trauma, for the most part, will probably experience a negative outcome of trauma as opposed to positive. Very few of us will have a traumatic injury that'll actually unlock some other secret talent we've got. It doesn't happen as often. Very few of us will actually get hit on the head and wake up speaking Mandarin when we've never spoken Mandarin in our life. You know? So I'm always interested in what the brain thinks of. I'm always interested in how people come up with belief systems. I'm interested in anthropology. I'm interested in those subject matters. So I'm always interested in why people believe certain things when there is no evidence. And it always comes back to faith. You just have to believe that there's a spirit world or whatever it is you want to believe in. And it's like, okay, but faith and believing in things doesn't get the job done with anything else. It only seems to work when it comes to people's spiritual beliefs. We can't take that same attitude with spiritual beliefs and apply it to anything else. It's very, very difficult to do that. Well, maybe I'm just a person who hasn't figured out how to do it and everybody else is smarter than me. That's a possibility too. I should point out, most people are smarter than me. The majority of people are probably smarter than me. I'm not smart. I'm not intelligent at all. I'm one of the dumbest motherfuckers you'll find on YouTube. And I'm okay with that. That's fine. I just have a decent memory. That's it. I haven't figured out shit. Yes, I know how fucking space rockets work. I know how solid fuel rockets work. I know how fucking gas-filled rockets work. I know how all that sort of stuff works. Yep. I didn't figure it out. Some other smart fucker figured that out. I just remembered what he figured out. Or she. I ain't smart. I can understand certain things, scientific things and that, but I wouldn't know how to, I'd have no idea how to get to that point. I understand how blood groups work, how blood types work, and how it can make you sick. I don't understand how someone came up with the idea Let's check to see if there's different blood types. That I would never have thought of. I would have been like everybody else. It's the same red stuff that's in everybody. But no, there was someone smarter than me that went, let's have a look. And they discovered that we have different blood groups. O positive, O negative, A positive, A negative, and all that. All the good ones. You know, they discovered all that. I didn't. I know about it. I know how it works, but I didn't discover it. That's a problem too that society has. People can sound intelligent. I can sound intelligent, but I'm not intelligent. Sometimes people mistake the sounding of intelligence for intelligence. I make my luck out of fuck. Yeah, I mean, you make your own luck. That is kind of true. The statement itself that you make your own luck is not only kind of true, it's probably more closer to 100% true. Basically, we put ourselves into the positions we put ourselves into when we have responsibility. Obviously this excludes anybody that's doing anything against their will. So anything you choose to do based on any information you have. And if you choose to do it with poor information, and some might say, well, that's bad luck. And if you choose to do it with all the information you can get, then you've increased your chances of it being successful. Some would say that's a definition of making your own luck. Increasing your chances of survival, increasing your chances of success is a form of making your own luck. In that aspect, I totally agree. But I don't know if there's a such thing as you can make your own luck by finding a four-leaf clover and making your own luck that way. Making your own luck means you have to put energy into it. You have to do your research. You have to really look into whatever it is you're doing, and you make your own luck that way. Stay positive. Hope you don't make yourself look like a dickhead. That's the other thing too. G'day, Twisted Mate. Know exactly when you're going too far, when to stop. That's a problem a lot of us have, and I think we've all had that in our life, somewhere in our life. Be it it doesn't matter whether it's art or an argument. Sometimes you just got to know when to go. No, it's not getting anywhere. Just let it go. Well, sometimes we do it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we'll have something really going really, really well, and we'll just push it a little bit too far and we fuck it up. We've all done it. If we haven't done it yet, and if you've never done it before, then that's okay. Congratulations. Just know it will happen. If you die before it doesn't, then congratulations. You managed to leave this world without having anything bad happen. But you got to stay positive. But that's always easier said than done. Saying to someone, stay positive, never helps that. It doesn't really help that person in that moment. Most of the time it's very hard to stay positive when someone tells you to. Most times. There's probably, maybe that's just me as well. I could be the one where it's just me that I don't know how to stay positive when people tell me to be positive. I don't know. I haven't interviewed every single person on Earth. Nope. I knew that was happening. Always get you. That's the other thing too. People automatically assume that with love comes understanding and tolerance and respect and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, yes it does. It does. But every now and then, I don't care if you're man, woman, look at your partner, right? Every now and then, there's a moment when you think, oh, you are nothing but an utter cunt. Right now, you're being a fucking bitch. You're a fucking asshole. You know, and you just think to yourself, Jesus Christ, I'm trying my hardest to explain this and it's coming out wrong and you're taking it the wrong way and now I'm the prick and you're a bitch. But you don't always say those things, but you're human being if it does pop into your head. You don't have to say it, but you are a human being if it pops in your head, because sometimes you'll be right and you know you're right and the other person's wrong and you're like, but you're wrong, and they're like, no I'm not, and you're like, but you're fucking wrong. And you think to yourself, if you were any other person, I would say something or do something, but I won't because I can't, because I love you. Basically what I'm saying is sometimes people think because you're in love with someone and you have a relationship that means you're exempt from getting into arguments, from losing temper or anything like that, and that's not the case at all. You're not exempt from it. You're still a human being. You still have the ability to lose your temper, get mad and say things that are horrible things, and you know, regrets afterwards. Yes, always regrets afterwards. But just that idea of when people think love is, it's like, no, love has problems too. Love's not easy. Anybody who thinks love is easy has never really been in love. Not that I believe anyway, because there's always moments. There's always moments. Or maybe that just says more about my relationship than it does anybody else's. Maybe that's just a me issue. I don't know. I feel like I love Topeka. I never loved her from the very beginning. I wasn't like love at first sight or anything. When I first started going out with her, it was like, alright, I'm her boyfriend, she's my girlfriend. That's it. We didn't love each other. We just like boyfriend and girlfriend. And eventually, boyfriend and girlfriend turned into more of a love for each other. And now we love each other to the point where we don't think we could be without the other. We sort of need each other. But it's not easy to get there. There's a lot of arguments along the way. 28 years, you're not going to be with somebody or work with somebody or live with someone 28 years and not get on each other's nerves. You have some downtime where you're out of work for a little bit for whatever reason and you start seeing each other every fucking day. And those little things that didn't bother you start to annoy the piss right out of you now. You know, the way I smile or the way I laugh or the way I make a joke, everything just pisses her off. Still drives you crazy. That's it. That's it. But you see, that's the thing, you know. And then I've met some people that have been like, they have that mindset of, how could you stay with someone that drives you crazy? And it's like, because there's you can drive people crazy in good and negative ways. You can drive someone crazy to where they go insane, but you can drive someone crazy, and if they know you enough, they know that they can drive you crazy enough to bring the best out of you. And don't look at it that time. So I look at it as, you know, I wouldn't look at it. I'm not looking at it that way, like, you know, she nitpicking you or anything like that. But you know what I mean? It's like, that's, someone drives you crazy. That's not like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, someone driving you crazy. You know, Topeka drives me crazy. I drive her crazy all the time. I walk past her every now and then, just stick a finger up her nose because I'm bored. That always causes a couple of nasty words to fly out of her mouth. She used to yawn and I'd stick my finger in her mouth. But hey, bad boy, how you going, mate? But yeah, I just... There's been a lot of things I never quite understood. Until I met Topeka and was with Topeka a few years. And then I realised, okay, this particular thing's different. Okay. I can't think of the things off the top of my head what they are, but... missed me checkpoint doing a backflip. Yeah, I ruined a perfectly good yawn, yep. Chilling and watching Z Nation. How many seasons they got of that? I think I watched up until, I think Warren started becoming a bit like Murphy. Fun fact, the lady that designed my logo for my channel, she actually binge watched the first 2 seasons of Z Nation, and every time she was drawing it up and working on it, she was playing Z Nation in the background. That's a little fun fact for people that didn't give a shit. No one asked, but yeah. Shout out to Denise Latham, the lady who came up with my design. Last season, 5 seasons. Oh, yeah, 5 seasons. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I don't know if you've gotten all the way to the end yet. I won't spoil it for you. I won't spoil it for you. But all I will say is they need a movie to round out it. They need a movie to round it out because it's not finished. Getting to that the end episode on season 5, and it's a cliffhanger. You're waiting for more. You know there's more, but I don't know, they might have made some more episodes. They might have tied off those loose ends. $10K. I didn't think Mac was going to die in the second season or whatever. I was like, what the fuck? I thought that guy was going to live for ages. DJ Quill. DJ Quill is probably my favourite character in that. That's not his name in it. That's the name of the actor. I forget his name, but he's the one out in the ice. Out in the he's a military guy living out by himself with the ice. He ends up meeting that lady. No, I wouldn't give it spoilers, man. I'm not like half the people in your chat, bad boy, trying to tell you how to play the game while you're playing it. No worries, Zio, mate. Take it easy. You and your family, man. No, I wouldn't spoil it for you, bad boy. I'm not that person. The amount of time I'll be in Bad Boys and someone will be telling other people stop spoiling or no spoilers or something like that. It's like, it's fucking a lot. It happens a lot. No, it happens a bit. Not a lot. I'm probably over exaggerating how much it happens. But yeah, it happens a bit. No, all I'm saying is it needs a movie or another season because it's going to end on a cliffhanger and you're going to be sitting there going, I want more. That's it. I'm not going to tell you how they get there. No, you can figure that bit out yourself. That's why I didn't mention the Mac bit until you said what season you're at, because I know what season that happens in. I was like, I don't want to mention that just in case he's not there yet. I'm watching Daybreak. Daybreak's about the teenagers that are fine and the adults are zombies. I haven't watched it. I just seen the preview on Netflix. The trailer on Netflix. And if I'm remembering the trailer correctly, that's kind of the plot of the story. Black Summer's good. If you haven't seen Black Summer's good. Kingdom's pretty good as well. I like Kingdom. Kingdom's good. Well, just know, bad boy. I don't normally generally go around giving spoilers to people, but if I was to, you'd kind of be going around the wrong way to say to me, like, it's fine for you to say no spoilers in your own channel, but if someone wants to talk about a show in their own channel, then you wouldn't be able to tell them no spoilers. You just have to leave so then you didn't hear them. But yeah, no, I wouldn't go and deliberately blow the show for you or anything like that. I never have to you before, never will. I'll only tell, I don't even, dude, half the time, you know, you when you stuff up in your game and you're like, what do I got to do? I know what you got to do, but I don't tell you because I don't want to tell you. I want you to figure it out yourself. I'm not telling you shit. I've seen you and Keith both struggle sometimes on a game, and I think I know how to do this bit, but I'm not saying anything. Only because I don't want any of the people in the chat going, no spoilers. I was like, I'm not. So I had to say nothing. Half the people in your chat make it so I say nothing in your chat. They jump on everybody, jump on people, you know. Sometimes I see it, it's like, what are you jumping on that person for? Get off that person's back. What they do wrong? But I just say nothing because it's not my channel. I'm not getting in it. I won't spoil it. I won't even tell you how to play a game. I'm kind of a prick that way. People better not spoil Days Gone for you, because you played it but you haven't completed it. Well, let me just say something to you right now. Nothing about the game itself, but if you want people to spoil it for you, the quickest way to do that is say people better not do it, because that's just saying, that's just a target. That's just making people go, oh, I'm gonna make this guy cry. That's what goes through people's heads, man. You tell someone don't do it, they just want to do it more. So handy hint there. I'm not gonna, because I've played it as well. Yeah, I didn't think much of the game, to be honest. I streamed it once and I thought, this game's shit. That's because everybody hyped it up. Everybody hyped it up and said it was the best game in the world before it even got released. This game's going to be awesome. It's going to be the best game. It's going to end up being Game of the Year. Oh, look at this story. It's so fucking good. The acting is so good. It's like, no. It was the same as everything else. I don't know what they were comparing it to. But I didn't think that much of the game myself. I've pretty much forgotten nearly everything about that game, except the story, because the story is the same story that I've heard 20 million times before. It wasn't even a new fucking story. I know someone will be like, oh, but there's a... No, it's a real story. It's a different story because there's this disease that makes people zombies. Yep, that's every zombie movie. No, you don't get it. There's this medical team that's hiding it from the government. Oh, okay, so every, like, half of every other zombie movie. No, you don't get it. There's a family that are separated and they got to find each other. Alright, back at every single zombie movie again. There was nothing new about it. Go, Ranger. There you go, mate. Well, see, there you go. There you go, bad boy. Bad boy. I don't know if you noticed it. There might be some people in my chat that's never played that game yet and did not know that, and you just spoilt it for them. Oops. Gotta practice what you preach, mate. You can't ask people not to spoil it for you and then just willy-nilly say things about a game in another chat, man. That is what they call the pot calling the kettle black. Don't worry about it, man. I don't care, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat's probably already past that, and you know. Like Wuhan, like Chud. Think back to the episode of The Simpsons, man, when Homer Simpson goes sees the second Star Wars movie, and he comes out the cinema and he goes, "Oh, who would have known that Darth Vader was actually Luke's father?" And everybody in the lines, "Way to blow the picture! Thanks, Mr. Spoiler. Yeah, why don't you go sit back at the end of the line there with your face in your shirt?" I try my best. One does one's best, Zio. One does one's best to be wicked. But no, I mean, that's part of the reason, bad boy, like, I'll come and watch you play Last of Us. I'll come and watch you play Spider-Man, because I'm never going to play them. So you're not spoiling it for me. But if there was a game that I wanted to play, and I didn't want any spoilers, I wouldn't watch anybody play it. So Phoenix TV, she was playing Dead Island 2. I didn't want any spoilers. So unfortunately, I never watched any of her videos. I'd see them come up, I'd push play on the video, I'd pause it straight away, I'd give it a like, and I'd give a message. I'm going to be playing this game myself, so I can't watch it. And then now that I've finished the game, I've since gone back through and watched all her videos. I just put them in a watch list for later on. So you know, I have to make those choices myself, because I can't guarantee anybody else isn't going to spoil it. And you never know too who's joking around and who's not. Like, I know you put a joke in there, Abby dies in the third one, and I know you're only joking because the game's not out yet, so you wouldn't know. But to avoid even people's jokes, because you never know, because if you haven't played the game and you don't know the story, then you don't know when someone says something if they're joking or not. So it's like, I did the same thing with One Piece, the live action. I didn't watch too much about what was going on with it. Because I wanted to see how they translated the anime to live action. They did a pretty good job. I know, what a bitch. Couldn't even fucking stay alive for 5 fucking minutes. I also never got into the Last of Us games because I've said it before. My brother ruined it for me and other people ruined it for me. And I don't mean by spoiling the story. I just mean the attitude of... Look, it is awesome to see people excited about a new game coming out. But sometimes some people get a little bit overzealous with it. And it becomes annoying. To me. I'm not saying it's annoying. I'm referring to myself. And it just becomes too much. And too much hype around a game normally brings disappointment. And it probably says more about my upbringing than anything. You know. So, if someone says to you they're not interested in the hype, ask yourself, how many times did people hype up that person's expectations and then let them down as a child to where they don't recognise hype as being a positive thing anymore? And then, oh, I've already done this track. Ah, I thought it was a new one. So rather than going into too many details, you know, because I just don't buy into hype, that's all. Like everybody's been bitching and moaning. We want GTA 6. We want GTA 6. They promised GTA 6. Everyone getting upset. I guarantee half those people, I've written names down. Some of yous are on that list. And I bet half of yous are going... Some of yous, I've written the names down of everybody that's quoted wanting GTA 6. And I've put some of those names in the list of people that won't complain about the game when it comes out. And then the other half of that list, I've put in the group of these people are going to complain about the game they've been asking for. Alright? I'm curious. That's a little experiment I'm doing. Oh yeah, did you not know that? You can do experiments? Yeah, YouTube's useful for that. You can do human experiments and people don't care because it doesn't matter. It's not unethical. I'm just collecting data. So I'm giving how some of the people have talked about wanting games to come out and then how they've reacted to the games when they finally got their games, whether they, you know, call it a piece of shit or a piece of trash or anything like that. So I've got these two different lists, and some of the people, not every single person in my chat is in this list, by the way. But I've just, with myself, having a little bet, which one I think will be, who do I think will be the people that will be upset and complain about it, and who I think will be the people that'll just go, awesome, a new GTA game, and they're not worried about the story, not worried about who it might be playing, or you're playing as a male or a female or whatever. You like to find glitches in games. I like finding the mechanical structures. I like finding what the game's capable of doing. Sometimes that exposes glitches. And, you know, I don't mind when I find them. Some of them are cool. Some of them are just break the game. But yeah, I don't mind finding glitches and stuff like that. I don't exploit them. Depending on what people's definition of exploit is. If they mean it to benefit myself, then generally I don't do that. there are times that I've found a glitch and it has benefited myself. It wasn't my goal, but it did benefit me, and I've just accepted it. But I don't generally go out and look for glitches to benefit me. But I do like when I find them, and I love when I find one that no one else has found, because like, ha, I found something first for a change. See, you're not even on the list that I'm making, Zio, because you're a man of patience and a man of experience with years. So I mean, you're a smart enough man to know if you want the perfect game, you're going to have to sit down with the game developers yourself and come up with that perfect game to what you think is perfect. So you just ride the waves, mate. You just go, all right, you pretty much accept what the game's come out as and just play it as is. So you're not on that list because I can't use your data because it's skewered, because you have that mental state of, I'm just going to play the game. This is the way they want me to play the game, and whether you like it or not. No, that's the way they want me to play it. So you have that. So I can't use data from you, unfortunately. I like seeing the graphics and how they have come. Yep. Yeah, I like seeing the graphics, how they've come from just a pixel dot pong sort of shit all the way to what we got now. That's always awesome. I don't mind watching the remakes too, just to see what they've done to the video games. I generally stay away from them and don't play them, because I never feel like the remakes capture... Remakes to me never really capture the essence of the original game and what you were going through when you first played that game and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, CZO. So I can't use any information I gather from your game style and how you react to new games and the wanting of new games. I can't use your information. But everybody else out there, when they talk about, you know, a game coming up, I just jot it down. This person's interested in this game. You know, for many reasons. Number one, keep an eye out for that game. Do I know anything about that game? Is that a game I might be interested in? Is that a game I can co-op with this person? You know, all those sorts of things. So I jot the information down. Just so that I do it for multiple reasons. One, I'm just doing a little experiment, fun little experiment, curious. Two, to keep my mind sharper, mainly, so I don't forget. If I write things down, I find it easier to remember that conversation happened than if I don't write it down. And of course, I'm not going to be publishing I use the words finding as if this is a scientific experiment that's legit. No, I'm not going to be publishing my answers and that later on. No one's ever going to know who's on this list and who's not on this list. All right. I do have a cut-off age. If you're in your 40s, you know, then you're definitely not on the list. If you're growing up with the really crappiest of fucking games. If you're in your 20s, you probably are on the list, because the games that you've grown up with are different. To be fair, there's only about 20 people on the list. It's not like not like it's everybody or anything like that. The list isn't important. That's not important. Important. The thing I'm saying is that there's a lot of hype around a lot of hype was built up around GTA 6. And it's like, yeah, I know when it comes out, there's going to be people hyped and got really excited for GTA 5. When it came out, there was people complaining, why do I have to switch characters? Why do I have to switch characters? They all shut the fuck up once they got Trevor. Once everybody got Trevor, most people shut up about switching characters. It just took that moment. It took get to Trevor. Once they dealt with Trevor and had Trevor's character, they didn't have a problem with the switching of it. it was almost like, no, that's fine. No one argued about it. No one complained about it anymore. But there were some people that were a little, you know, how's this going to work? Free characters. This isn't normal. It's not the same. It's like, no, because if you want GTA Vice City, then play GTA Vice City. But this is GTA 5. It's different. I was thinking, how am I supposed to get to that? I didn't realise there was a green thing there. I thought it was just open. I was thinking, I'm going too slow. I'm not going to make that jump. No, turned out I did. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, do 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 do. Wop 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 wop. I don't mind the look of this. Ah, it told me to do a barrel roll. It's like, do a barrel roll. Something tells me if I'd have done a barrel roll, that would have stuffed me up. Oh, I don't know if I was supposed to do that. Here's a good song. Good old Blue Moon. I love listening to music, man. It's one of my favourite pastimes. I'll sit there and edit and I'll be listening to music. I'll be watching TV and every now and then I'll put some music on. And I'll be watching TV, listening to music at the same time. I'm multitasking. Music runs through my blood. Blue, 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 blue moon. Dibbity, blue, 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 blue moon. Dibbity, bobba da bobba, bamma dang dang, dibba da doo da doo. And I listen to literally everything. Well, I listen to everything prior to 2010. Anything after 2010, I'm really not familiar with. And to be honest, I'm really not familiar with a lot of stuff older than anything older than 2000. It's just I know more stuff that's between 2000 and 2010 than I know of 2010 onwards. I couldn't even tell you who's top of the pops right now. Did they even say that anymore? Top of the pops? Whatever. I couldn't even tell you who's top of the charts right now. Couldn't tell you. That information's not in my head. I deem that information to not be valuable, so I don't store that information. I grew up so I always heard this joke growing up that if you like show tunes and songs in movies, then you're probably gay, which I always thought was weird because I used to love watching Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin sing together and fucking Frank Sinatra and all that. I grew up with that sort of shit. On a Saturday afternoon, some kids would be running around the local town being dickheads, and there I was, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, sitting down watching Ma and Pa Kettle. Why? Because that shit was funny. I don't know if anybody else out there remembers Ma and Pa Kettle, but when you got a big old lady ringing the bell going, "Come and get!" and then 15 kids come running from nowhere, and poor skinny old man there just stealing all the Indians' fucking tobacco. What their names? Get Up and Crowbar. I'm just going to pinch a little bit of tobacco off you there, Get Up. And he just starts thumb packing fucking pipes and putting all these different pipes away in his jacket. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Because I knew people that did that sort of shit. Can I pinch a smoke off you? Yeah, no worries. And they pull a smoke out, put it behind their ear, put another smoke out, put it behind their other ear, put a smoke in their pocket, and then put one in their lips, and then put one in their fingers, and then walk off. It's like you said, a smoke, dickhead. But yeah, I grew up with Ma and Pa Kettle and stuff like that. You know, I grew up with Lucille Ball. I grew up with Desi Arquette. Desi Arnett. I grew up with all that sort of stuff. That was the music and that era of film that I really, really enjoyed. And I don't know, look, people can tell me there was all sorts of horrible things that happened in Hollywood and all that sort of stuff. I don't give a shit. When it comes to the fucking ladies back then, Elizabeth Taylor, Marilyn Monroe, Doris Day, they are some of the most elegant fucking women in Hollywood. I don't get it. For me, they were a turn on. They were eye candy. I don't know what it is these days. Today it's like, nah, I don't get it. Don't you think she's pretty? Yeah, she's pretty, I guess, but where's the meat? There's no meat on her bones. Anyone got that little drum paddle thingy for the xylophone? I reckon I could play on her ribs. Playing on their ribs. Ed Sullivan, yeah. Now, I didn't get a lot of the Ed Sullivan because we're in Australia and now it's more of an American show, but we didn't get a lot of that sort of stuff. But it was always reruns and stuff. And I always grew up I always felt like I grew up in the wrong era. I was born in the 70s, but, you know, I didn't get to enjoy the 70s. I didn't get to enjoy the 60s. I didn't get to enjoy the 50s, the 40s, the roaring 20s. Even the music of the roaring 20s, man. Nina Simone, and she wasn't roaring 20s, but Nina Simone, oh, what a voice. It's a Good Day. Fuck, that song is bone chilling. And her original take on fucking Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. That's the Beatles song. Classically done by the Beatles. But her take on that is fucking gold. I'm pretty sure she's the original. I might be wrong. It might have been the Beatles that were the original. One of my favourite songs is by Status Quo, Pictures of Matchstick Men. I don't know if many people are familiar with it, the song Pictures of Matchstick Men, but that's a fucking awesome song. I've talked to people about, you know, T-Rex was awesome. Who's T-Rex? You don't know who T-Rex is? Where the fuck you been living? Dr. Hook, sick as fuck. Who's Dr. Hook? You don't know who Dr. Hook is? The fuck? Jesus Christ, look up one song, cover of the Rolling Stone, fucking Sylvia's Mother, fucking anything. Oh, Jesse, any fucking song from Doctor Hook, you're not going to go wrong with them. Jesus, they were classics. I don't hear shit. I don't hear anybody talk about them now. It's almost like they fucking... And now we know for a fact if some young cunt come out now and started singing one of their songs, everybody would act like they were the creator of it. On the cover of the Rolling Stone, gonna see my picture on the cover. Gonna buy 5 copies for my mother. Gonna see my smiling face on the cover of the Rolling Stone. Yep, so many good musicians of the past that just don't get the recognition that they deserve. Oh well. Gone but not forgotten, I guess. Maybe by some, but... Slim Whitman. Yep. Vaguely remember that one, yep. My mum, so I grew up with my mum, right? And so she used to drink. She was an alcoholic. Let's face it, she was an alcoholic. And she could never work the record player, so my job when she was drinking was late at night, wake me up. Can you find that song I like on that album? So there I am playing DJ, having to work the record player. 1 minute she wants Leif Garrett, then she goes, I want to hear Woody. Now, a lot of people out there be thinking, Woody? Who the fuck's Woody? Woody who? Bay City Rollers. I know, I said it. I know, don't hate me. I had to play it. She was an alcoholic. I had to. I had no choice. I was a child. Had to do as I was told. I had to play it. She wanted to hear Woody. I had to put Bay City fucking Rollers on. Or as I used to call them, Bay City Bum Jabbers. But that's only because I fucking hated them. They had some good songs. I just wasn't my favourite. When Mum said, you know, what about the Sweet? We'll put the Sweet on. Yeah, alright, the Sweet's good. I can get behind the Sweet. I just don't like the Bay City Rollers. ELO, Jeff. ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. Yeah, they're alright. I like them. Sun is shining in the cloud and inside. It stopped raining. Even Yes. Yes was good. But then you got those other bands too that a lot of the people took the piss out of around me when I was growing up, but I still thought they had some really good tunes. Journey, Boston, Foghat, fucking Chicago. I'm losing the crowd, aren't I? But they all had some really, really good hooks in them, some good riffs, you know. And I even liked Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart's alright. My mum loved Rod Stewart. Oh my god. The way she spoke of Rod Stewart, anyone think those two were going to get married. Fucking hell. She loved George Michael. I tried to tell her that relationship would never work. She didn't believe me the reasons why. I said, I don't think he likes women, Mum. And she's like, are you saying he's a homosexual? I was like, yeah. Yep. And she's like, swore and cursed at me. No, he is not. George Michael is not a... Yeah, he was. Of course, that never bothered me. When it comes to people, it doesn't bother me what people do in the privacy of their own home. You got no bearing on my life or my existence. Just my mum was delusional. I remember walking off and just said to myself, if George Michael wasn't gay, Mum, he would be after meeting you. I think I got a shoe thrown up my head that day. Have you heard Ozzy Osbourne's Scary Little Green Man? I think so. Some of the names, because of all the different music I've heard, some of the names actually start to blur, or I get confused on which band actually did play it, but I probably have heard the song. Yeah, I mean, I'm just a music person. Music, I don't care. If it sounds good, I'll listen to it. I don't like Lady Gaga, but I've heard a couple of her songs done that have been covers that someone has covered, and they've done a heavier version to it, and it actually sounds alright. I don't mind the song. The song's actually okay. But I just wasn't a fan of her. Nothing against her or anything like that. I know she has her audience, and I'm not her target demographic. I know that. I'm okay with that. I'm sure she's okay with that too. Lady Gaga is not sitting there going, zombie from Australia doesn't like my music, I'm gonna quit. She's not doing that, so it doesn't matter. Like, I like Kiss as well, but I don't know about anybody else, but the last couple of albums of Kisses before they became Unmasked, you know, they did the Unmasked one that had the Shandy on it. Shandy, the night, da, 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 da. Had that song on it. The album before that and the next album, I don't know whether they recorded them at the same time and just put them out at different times, or if they were just really stuck on their vibe, but they really sounded alike to me. They sounded so closely alike. They didn't sound like there was very much difference in the style that they were doing. And I know each band has their own style, and it normally will trickle through their whole career. But they were good albums, but they just had some songs on it that just sounded very generic to their style. Like, you could almost take some lyrics from, like, some bridges from one part of one song and put it in the other song, and you wouldn't notice that it wasn't supposed to be there. If that makes sense. And maybe it was just me. Maybe it's just me. It's been a few years since I've heard them too, so I heard those albums. Heroes was good. David Bowie, or are we talking Kiss, or a band called Heroes? Because there's a lot of bands I didn't even know came out of America that had some really good songs, but they didn't really breach out of America as well as other bands. Here is a Kiss album, is it? I'm not familiar with it. Not by the name of the album anyway. I only remember the name of the Unmasked one because, well, it was called Unmasked, wasn't it? But I don't even remember the names of all the albums of any of the bands out there. Songs, yeah. a lot of the times my mum only had these, what they were called, video smash hit albums, which were basically, you know, six or seven songs on one side of the record, 6 or 7 songs on the other, and they were the top songs of 1970 something. So she had a lot of them. So a lot of them I didn't get to know. There's a lot of bands that I heard of, and it wasn't until I got older that I could actually look them up myself and find them myself, to where I went, oh, that group had more than one song, and that's not all they're known for. This song is also theirs. But they weren't on those albums, so I never got to see them, so or I'd hear them very rarely. And if you're waiting for a radio station to play a song, unless they do request, you're going to be waiting a while. There's a lot of Australian groups as well. Really big here in Australia. Everybody in Australia knows them. But then when you talk to people outside of Australia, they're like, who's that? And they don't know who they are. Like, whenever I've asked anybody to, when anybody plays guitar or anything, and they do streams, and I've said to them, can you play a Rose Tattoo song? And they always play the song Rose Tattoo by Dropkick Murphys. And it's like, no, that's a song, Rose Tattoo. I want something from the band Rose Tattoo. Who's that band? Oh, it's got Angry Anderson in it. Who's Angry Anderson? Short guy with no hair that's alongside Tina Turner in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Big Australian artist here in Australia. But that's when I realised, oh, well, maybe Rose Tattoo was more of an Australian band and didn't break out as much as I thought they might have in America and other places. You know, didn't have that. They're not AC/DC. Fun fact, AC/DC, Bon Scott singer, lead singer of AC/DC before Brian Johnson, is one of the first, if not the first, frontman of a band that had tattoos displayed. He's either the first or very close to the first. I think he's the first frontman of a band to have tattoos displayed. Oh yeah, I mean that's it. That's the beautiful thing about music, man. That is the beautiful thing about music. The tapestry of what's out there is so rich. You could never stop looking it up. I reckon you could find a new song every day. Almost. Well, that fucked that up. Okay. Yeah, I reckon you could find a new song every single day. And never have to listen to the same song. There's just so many of them out there. So many undiscovered songs that... And then you flip across YouTube every now and then and you hear some busker. Someone will videotape some busker and you think to yourself... Well, I think to myself, how's this guy not got a record deal? Yeah, AC/DC is pretty good. I'm more of a old school AC/DC than I am new school, but I like AC/DC nevertheless. Like, no matter what, they always got some good tunes, but I feel like the older stuff was way better than the newer stuff, and the newer stuff sort of starts to merge a little bit to where it starts to sound similar to older stuff. Yeah, Bon Scott's a legend. He's a legend here in Australia, especially in my state. Because he's from my state. From a town he lived in a town that I grew up in. Now, lived in a town that I grew up in does not mean in the same town and that I knew him. It just means we shared a geographical location for a period of time, and probably at different points of our lives. He was already dead by the time I lived in that town, so it was never like we crossed paths or anything like that. UFO, good band. Yeah, alright. Trying to think of their songs. Trying to think of one of their songs off the top of my head. I'm struggling, if I'm being honest. But I do remember the one of the UFO albums being in the mix with all my mum's stuff. You want to try and get yourself a record. If you're looking for records, you want to try and get yourself a record called The Valentines. A band called The Valentines. An old fucking record, very rare, very hard to get. The band Valentines eventually changed their name to something a little bit more edgy. They became AC/DC. So the very first AC/DC record wasn't even by AC/DC, it was by a group called Misty Green and Blue Lights out in London. I'm going to screenshot that so I can look them up later. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on those ones, Ranger, mate. I'll have to look into that. See, I can't read music, but I can read tablature. And when you start reading tablature, you start noticing certain bands have certain patterns, certain frets they like to start off at, or that, you know, like Metallica will always start with power chords. There's a lot of power chords, 5 and 7 power chord. 5th fret top E. And then A, G string in the 7th fret. I figured, you know what a power chord. I don't need to explain a power chord to you. But to those people at home that aren't familiar with what power chords are, there's a lot of in that position. There's a lot that can be. Cool guy, UFO guitar player, Mike. Is that Shirkner? I'm struggling on pronouncing that, mate. But yeah, I'll definitely look that up. God damn it, I hit this one again. Because I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy rolling myself up one. Tis, tis, tis. Schechner. Mike Schechner. Alright. Thanks for breaking that down for me phonetically. Makes it a lot easier. Schechner. Yeah. Schechner. Like, he used to have a YouTube channel. Oh, has he passed away, has he? Or has he just stopped? Hopefully he's just stopped. But given how old people are getting now, because that's how years work, he may have passed away. They had a lead singer from one of the bands, Aussie bands, that was really, really good here. Haven't seen him for a long while. Well, hopefully he's just taken hiatus. And that he's okay. Lead singer from the Screamin' Jets. He passed away last year or the beginning of this year. I think Neil Sedaka's still alive. January. I think the song I liked as Neil Sedaka the best is probably Bad Blood. Bad blood in the sky lies on the lips. Do run, do run, run, do run, run, do run, do run, run, do run, run, do run, do run, run, do run, run. Bad blood, talking about bad blood. I said that to someone the other day. I was like, oh, Bad Blood's a good song. And they're like, oh, Billie Eilish. I was like, what's a Billie Eilish? Like, they sing Bad Blood. I was like, pretty sure Neil Sedaka does. I found out some chick named Billie Eilish fucking sings a song called Bad Blood. It's not even it's not even the same song, two different songs. And I suppose that, you know, only confusing for people that knew of the original. Hey Topeka, you still there? If you are, any idea where those other two controllers are? G'day Taters, how you going, mate? Hello there. One day, Taters is going to come in, he's going to say something different. He's not going to say hello there, he's going to go, hello here. Or hello where? Question mark? Just to be whimsical. Now, how you been, Taters? Hope you're doing well. Might be in that white TV cabinet. The big steel one we got. That has the PlayStation 3 in it. Doing okay. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Now, wants me to do a barrel roll, so let's do a barrel roll. Ah, they had the camera set up for it, that's why. Okay. I hate this bit of the tunnel. Not a good... I'm not good with flashing lights. And strobe lights. Only 25 for that? Nah. I feel ripped off. I know where those controllers are, Topeka. They're in space. Because literally everything is in space. I've got a couple of controllers here. I'm going to send them out to Major. He had his controller break up yesterday. Old controller break on him. I sent him these couple. I don't know if they work or not, but I'm sure he'll figure out a way to... Kangaroo took the controllers. Probably. You got to watch those fucking kangaroos, man. If you don't nail shit down, they'll steal it. Nah, not really. But... I still wouldn't leave things lying around a kangaroo. Big feet, step on everything, knock things over with their tail. Clumsy bastards, really. I like how they go, oh yeah, Australians, the kangaroos in Australia, as if they're everywhere else in the world, have developed a method to drown dogs. It's like, no. Not really. Yes, there's some videos out there of some dogs looking like they're being drowned by kangaroos, but it always ends up being the same image that keeps getting shown. And it keeps getting put across as if it's been happening for years to develop to do dingoes in. And it's like, yeah, no. Dingoes normally go for smaller stuff. They don't go... They hardly ever go for kangaroos. I mean, if dingoes are any good at getting kangaroos, we'd use dingoes as kangaroo dogs. But we don't use dingoes as kangaroo dogs because they're shit. That's kind of like what I was saying beforehand. That's another one of those things that... You know, a video gets shown of it and everybody just thinks, well, that's evidence. It's like, no, that's not evidence. That's just one video. Show me 50 videos of that happening over a period of 10 years. And then I might consider it evidence. Until then, it's just a one-off. Now, even if I see 2 videos of it, they're 2 separate videos. Okay, cool. Still not evidence. See, kangaroos will do... The motion kangaroos do in the water that was seen in that video is the same motion they do on land. So the fact that they're in the water is just... a different terrain. But they will pin an animal down and use their strength to pin it down and push it to the ground. Because they want to get it down low so then they can lean back and kick the shit out of it. Which they can't do in the water. They reckon, oh, if you see a kangaroo in the water, don't go in there because it's going to try and drown you. Oh, fuck off. The amount of times we pull kangaroos out the fucking water, not one human's been drowned by them yet. Not even any indication. I haven't even seen any indication of a human, like a kangaroo trying to drown a human yet at all. They get stuck in the water all the time. Get rescued. Are dingoes and dogs the same thing? Pretty much. Dingoes aren't even native to Australia. They were introduced to Australia. I don't know when. I think it was before white colonists come here. But I believe they were introduced like a few thousand years or a few hundred years beforehand. Not sure. Again, not sure how. But yeah, they're just a wild dog. I've seen lots of dingoes eating dead stuff on the side of the road, but I've never seen any dingoes actually actively hunt shit. I'm not saying they don't. I've never seen it. It's not something we talk. No one even gives a shit about dingoes here in Australia. We don't even feel threatened by dingoes here in Australia. One incident happens where, well, one story comes out. It's never. There's a whole heap of speculations on whether the story is true or not. Linda Chamberlain. Story comes out about a dingo took my baby and all that sort of stuff, and then everybody started hating dingoes. We're out there killing dingoes and that, not because we think they're a threat, but because we're just trying to keep the people around the world happy. Because they're all saying you need to do something about those dingoes. They're a menace. Yeah. No one's fucking thought they were a menace before. No one thought they were a menace afterwards either. And yes, there has been a few attacks where a dingo has bitten a person. But it should be also noted that the people were told not to go to that specific spot. These tourists were told don't go there. And we have tourists that are in Australia that are Australian-born tourists. If you're travelling around, you're still a tourist. They were told don't go there. And they went there. And they got bit by a dog. Now, most of us are smart enough to know that anything with a mouth has a potential to bite, and if it feels threatened or something like that, then, you know, there's a good chance that they might lash out. And you never know what other people have done. There are people that throw shit at the dingoes because dingoes walk near them, and they go, oh, throw something at that dingo to scare it off. Why? Because of that story of the dingo taking the baby. It's like, oh my God. Apparently the baby's clothing was found in the dingo's den. Okay. It was neatly folded. I don't know any dingoes that would actually strip a baby down and eat the baby, but fold the clothes up without damaging it. I speculate foul play. Like 99% of Australians did. But only because the evidence sort of suggested that. Never come back to Australia either. Stayed out of it. Most people remember that movie because Meryl Streep played Linda Hamilton, whatever her name was. Linda Chambers. Meryl Streep played her, I think, in a movie.
Listen, I'm working on something interesting, I think, but...
Me, I don't have the full story, so I don't know. I can't speculate one way or the other. I don't have the police reports. I've only got what news stations and TV shows and that have said, and I take that with a grain of salt. I don't read into that as well, then that must be gospel. Um, 660,000, that's not bad. I don't think I got all that just then, though. No. Up. Thank you. But yeah, I can't say anything about that dingo incident because I wasn't there or anything like that, and anything I say just comes across as me being biased. It's my own country, so it just sounds like I'm just trying to stick up for my own country. Nah, it never happened. No, so I don't know what the story... I know what the story is, but I don't know all the ins and outs of all the details. TV shows and movies, they have a tendency to embellish certain things for entertainment purposes. I'm well aware of that. News stations do the exact same thing. They'll leave out what they believe isn't important to the story or doesn't move the story along, and those bits of information, I might find them useful. They might still be not good to the story and not help the story, but I might find them useful. Someone else out there might find them useful. Someone else might find a pattern or draw a connection or something. So, you know, I don't know, so I can't say one way or the other. I think every country will. Every country has no problem killing its own people. That's what history has shown us. History has shown us that. No matter which country.
Guest services. Can I help you, sir?
Almost 20 million chips.
Call back if you need something. Day or night?
I bet it's about all I can sit in this chair. My back's fucked at the moment. I can only sit for a little bit in the chair before I have to fucking... I'm going to have to... I'm holding off taking painkillers for me back. But yeah, I'm at that point where it's hurting and I'm still trying to hold off taking any. But I think I might end up having to take a couple. So big shout out to Ranger, Space Ranger Recording Studio, Jen, Godlight Taters, Seven, Tactical Gamer, shout out to you, mate. Shout out Twisted, shout out to Zio, shout out to Seven Deadly Sins, 7D Sins, sorry. Shout out to Bad Boy Gamer. Shout out to Major, who's probably watching in the background there. Shout out to Keith, who's probably going to watch later on. Big shout out to you, mate. Shout out to the wonderful and lovely Topeka. But I'm going to jump off there and I'm going to walk up to Topeka and I'm going to say the drugs, gimme, want, now, need. That's when she knows it's pretty bad, because normally I stay clear of Panadol or any type of painkillers at all. I stay clear of it. It's not because I have an addictive personality or anything like that. It's not because I have a moral thingy. It's just I just try not to use it. I just always try to deal with it myself. But no, it's getting to the point where I'm going to have to actually need a little bit of relief, because this is fucking ridiculous. Anyway, so big shout out to everybody that came in, and I'll catch you all later. I'm out. I'm a dot and dust. See ya.